Guys, welcome back to the channel. If you do enjoy the content here on the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. And if you are a subscriber, boys, welcome back. Let's look at the standings then as we go into Paris-Nice here in episode 3. At the end of the last episode, you can see Little Trek at the top of the standings, 3,400 points ahead of 2,550 from Soudal Quickstep, Red Bull Boda in third with 2,500, and towards the bottom, Team Picnic Post NL 550, Archaea B&B 425, and Team Jayco currently struggling with just 375 points. But in this episode, we move to France for the Paris-Nice race. Right, let's spin the wheel then and see who we're going to be at the Paris-Nice race. Oh, there's a nice one. BAHRAIN Victorious is the team we've been handed to try and secure the win here. Let's go. Alright guys, so this is going to be our team then for Paris-Nice with BAHRAIN Victorious. We've kind of split this thing into two situations. Obviously there are some flat stages, there are some hilly stages. There is a time trial in there as well. So we've had to kind of mix things up a little bit to see how we can do. In terms of the flat stages, Phil Bauhaus is fit with 91% fitness. He's going to be supported by Govicard, Boratti and Mohoric. They are going to try and lead him out as best they can. And then when it comes to the mountains, I don't think we're going to be strong enough to take an overall GC. But of course, we do have Lenny Martinez. We're hopeful that we can take maybe some points in the mountains classification. And he's going to be supported by Keplinger and Zambanini. And then when it comes to the one-time trial stage, going back to Keplinger there, he also has that 72 time trial stat. Not the greatest, but I mean it's something we're going to be able to put in there. So we're spread across the board. I don't think, like I say, we're going to have a shot at GC, but I think this is a good spread and we're kind of keeping our options open with what we can do in this race. We're up and away then in stage 1 of Paris-Nice. If we go towards the front, you can see there's a lone gunman. It is the Frenchman Gautrat, and he has broken away, showing up here, trying to get some sponsorship time on the TVs maybe, but he is alone out at 2 minutes 40 ahead of the peloton. We scroll back to the main group. We've got Harper from Jayco there, we've got Romo from Movistar, and a select other group of riders, a few Alpecin boys towards the front here. But we're waiting for that first push towards the Saint-Pourçain, and hopefully a chance for Martinez to score some points. Matej Mohoric now on the front of the peloton, driving, trying to catch Gautrat ahead of the first mountain point section, so we can try and secure max points with Martinez if we can. The lead now from Gautrat down to 1 minute 40. Sending Martinez clear to try and pick up some points in the mountain section if we can. Let's get him to sit up here. Just make sure he claims that second spot as Gautrat is still pulled away. There's Gautrat, and just in the background you can see the peloton swinging around that corner as they are now hunting down the Frenchman. Mohoric for BAHRAIN Victorious on the front of that peloton, driving them as fast as he can, trying to get them to catch up ahead of these next mountain point section. Claim these points if we can. There we go. He's going to take those points and move up to 5 points. And then, of course, we'll get him just to sit up now and wait for Kepling there again. Would you believe it? Gautrat has gone again. He's got now another charge, but we're not going to let him go. 100 maybe. Let's go with Martinez. Let's try and get those KOM points. Don't see anyone pushing so hard, so we're just going to sit up there with Martinez. Do indeed get those points, and I'll move on to 8 points ahead of Gautrat. 5 kilometers to go then in this race. We're pushing hard with Mohoric at the moment, trying to keep things going as fast as we can. We're going to take over with Boratti with 3 kilometers to go now. Govicard in the wheel. Phil Bauhaus getting caught out as well. We're going to take over with Govicard to lead Bauhaus It is about a kilometer to go now, and we're going to push with Bauhaus. Bauhaus needs to come out of the wheel. Bauhaus needs to move. Bauhaus isn't doing anything. I'm hitting the button. We're going to have to pause and do it that way. It's not ideal. Bauhaus gets trapped. And what was going on there with the BAHRAIN Victorious train? We were hitting the sprint, pardon me, with Bauhaus, but he just didn't launch. It's too late a move. Crazy finish. We were looking to launch then with Phil Bauhaus. We were being led out by Govakar. It looked really good, but Bauhaus just didn't launch, and it was way too late. Definitely some issues there with the train. I think definitely the director sportifs of BAHRAIN are going to be having a stern word with the riders there, because they definitely mugged that one up. Demara then confirmed as your stage winner. Counter Merlier, Wout van Aert, Gaviria, Thiessen, Bauhaus, Van Uden, Bashek, and Fretin rounding out the top 10. In the points from the stage, Demara takes 15. Of course, Lenny Martinez with BAHRAIN taking now 8 points. In the mountains, your young rider will be Van Uden. And best team was BAHRAIN Victorious, getting our riders across the line collectively together faster than Team Bismarck. We're on to stage 2 then, from the Montesson to the Bellegarde. We have to go up the Menol and the Côte de la Villeneuve. 181.2 kilometers, though we do have this big echelon section in the middle, which is sure to cause some chaos. If we could get beyond that intact, then Bauhaus, you can see here down on the favourites, along with Merlier, Groves, Van Aert, Brennan, etc., possibly has a shot at this stage. Let's go into stage 2 then, and we're going to shoot straight from the line with Zambanini, with Martinez in the wheel, of course, as we look to try and get Martinez some more KOM points in this stage. Both climbs pretty early on. Looking like we're not really getting any separation at the moment, so we're going to sit up pretty quickly. We'll just wait for Zambanini to regather some energy. I'm going to get onto this little up section here, and then we will counter attack once more with Martinez, which will be trying to break away. Martinez feeling pretty good. He's going to get sort of 14, 15, 16 seconds here. Keep Zambanini just on the front of the peloton, then trying to assist his leader in this getaway. Come on, Martinez, try and break away if you can. Let's get it up to 30 seconds. We'll keep pushing early on if we can. We're up to 31, 33. Let's continue and see how we do. Okay, we do have the gap with Martinez at the moment, but there has been one man that's broken away from the peloton. If we scroll back, you know who it is. It's that young Frenchman, Gaudrat, as he is broken away, trying to catch up to his fellow countryman Martinez, who I think if we go back to now, we're just going to have to tally off a bit of this energy now and save what we can. If we go into a maintain position sort of effort and try and save some legs towards this first climb, it isn't going to be easy. So we do have Gaudrat attacking. Now Gaudrat here is going to join Martinez. It's about 2 kilometers now, just over away from this first KOM section here. We do go to lead wheel ahead of Gaudrat. We move in close to about 1 kilometer here. We are going to up the pressure here. And as we go, Gaudrat's kicking. Gaudrat's kicking. He caught us off guard there just for a second. We are going to go with Martinez. Is Martinez going to catch him up? Gaudrat just teases Lenny Martinez. Then provisionally is going to be on 10 points, and Pierre Gaudrat is going to be down on 6 points. Just under 4 kilometers then to this next KOM section, and it's these 2 young Frenchmen fighting it out on home turf for the spoils in the KOM. We are going to up the effort here. We're going to go into effort cursor. We're going to move it up, go up to all the way to 84 down below, and Gaudrat is pushing again, and once again I think he's trying to catch Martinez off. Martinez catching back up to the wheel of Gaudrat, but Gaudrat there securing the points once more. Things are heating up there, but we are going to have to wait for Zambanini and Co now to catch up before we hit this echelon section. And finally the peloton catches up with Lenny Martinez, who is now just going to slot back further down here behind the train of the BAHRAIN Victorious teammates. That is his bow done for the day. So as we enter this long drawn out echelon section, you can see some splits between wheels, just taking place at various little points. So we need to stick together as best we can, protect our main riders, make sure we don't get caught out in this very tough section here. Things getting very dicey. As you can see, the splits now. The first peloton group in 44 people, the A1 group in the second split 45 and 32 riders down in A2 now. This big echelon section having disastrous effects on the ambitions of many riders here in stage 2. Okay, so we've probably still got around about, I don't know, 10-15% of this long echelon left to go, and we've got our team still intact here. All BAHRAIN Victorious members still available in this 26-man group up the front of the race, but everyone's dying pretty quickly. We're just trying to stay tucked in. The pace going up a little bit. We need to be careful here, make sure we don't get dropped. Intermediate sprint coming up, but we're so low on energy with all the riders here. I don't think we'll go for it, and we'll just try and save what energy we can for the final run-in at the sprint at the end of this stage and try and make something happen with Bauhaus there. That's going to be the plan. Let's see how we do. Moharic is done here then at just over 5 kilometers to go. We're going to have to take over with Govakar. This is going to happen pretty quickly. We'll drop off with Zambanini so we don't disrupt the train here as we move up to about 90 effort. We'll go up to about 95 now with Govakar. Wait till we get down to about 2 kilometers to go, and then we'll hit the lead with Baratti. We go with Baratti now as we wait then for Bauhaus to make his move. Bauhaus coming out now. No, and again, Bauhaus just doesn't launch what I tell him to, but now Bauhaus goes on the right hand side. Bauhaus goes. Who is that? Is that going to be Caden Rose? No, it's Merlier, isn't it? It's Merlier on the left. Bauhaus gets the win. Bauhaus gets the win ahead of Tim Merlier. Confirmation then of your stage winner, Phil Bauhaus, therefore BAHRAIN Victorious ahead of Tim Merlier. Max Cantor comes in at third with Dylan Groenewegen in at fourth. Caden Groves Gaviria, Thiessen, Baratti, they're leading us out. Grand job by him. Demare, and then Wout van Aert in 10th position, rounding out your top 10 here in stage 2. The points classification from this stage 2, Merlier getting 15 as well for Bauhaus. Gortoy picking up 6 in the mountains. Lenny Martinez, of course, for us picking up an additional 4 with Zambanini getting 2 as well. Young rider Baratti there doing very well for BAHRAIN. And team-wise, of course, we managed to just about keep everyone alive for BAHRAIN Victorious in that long drawn-out echelon section, which was very, very tough. But we managed to just about survive it. If we move across into the GC then, Tim Merlier moves into the lead position, 2 seconds ahead of Max Cantor for Astana. Phil Bauhaus moves up 4 positions then into third, into a current podium position for BAHRAIN Victorious. Demare dropping 3 places, but of course we do have some tough stages to come. We move across into the points classification, and it's Tim Merlier currently leading the way, 26 points, 2 ahead of Max Cantor, and Phil Bauhaus now moving up to 19 points. In the mountains then, Lenny Martinez coming second in that duel with Galtara on that stage 2, but still leads the mountain classification by 3 points. Zambanini there is in third for BAHRAIN as well. Matthias Vashek is your leader in the young riders classification ahead of Baratti and Govakar for BAHRAIN Victorious. And in the team classification standing, Alpecin de Koenig ahead of Little Trek and BAHRAIN on the same time, with Team Visma in 4th place, some 3 minutes collectively back for them as we move into stage 3. As the stage 3 was the team time trial, so we've just gone sort of straight through that, nothing much to show you in terms of action. But it was Team Jayco taking the fastest time collectively as a team, UAE in second, Little Trek Visma, EF, Red Bull, Ineos, Decathlon, Alpecin Groupama, Astana Cofidis, Movistar, Sodal, Arkea, Intermarché, Team Pitnik, and then our boys at BAHRAIN back there in the 18th position. Move across then to stage 4 in Paris-Nice, and it is going to be from the Saint-Pourçain-sur-Sioule up to that climbing finish up the La Logue de Gare, and it is going to be a pretty tough one in the magazine. You can see it's going to be the likes of Carapaz, Roglic, Almeida, Martinez, etc. that are going to be the favourites for this stage. We might sort of be able to get in amongst it with Lenny Martinez if we can. Of course, He leads the mountain classification, and there are 5 sections on this stage prior to the finish, which will count towards mountain points. So we're going to have to see where we kind of pick and choose our battles on this stage for the young Frenchman. Stage 4 underway then, and Kevin Vanquilin for Arkea B&B shoots out of the gates. Drivers trying to bridge here early on. Pernes-les-Fontaines there, Van der Horn Sanchez trying to make it across, and there's some other riders pushing fairly hard, but we'll try and see if we can get this group. Let's just cooperate a bit more. I was trying to sort of save our energy a little bit there, but if we can make this group work, it might be advantageous. We come towards then the second climb of the stage, and now we're going to try and up the pace with Govicar and Martinez. 3 kilometers to go. Second climb, up the effort, move to about 86, come to the front, come on now, Martinez. Move it to about 87, 1 kilometer, 1200 meters, 1 kilometer to go. Martinez kicks. Again, he's going to miss out here, is he? And this time, Martinez is going to go early. Earlier this time. Trying to do something a bit different. This time he does pick up some points. It's going to be 3 points to send him to 13 for Martinez. Half a kilometer to go to the top of the shebang. We are going to go over here, but that is not really our goal at the moment. Lenny Martinez is still going to be provisionally 4 points ahead of Harper, but we're looking towards this next final climb. Up this final climb. 5 kilometers to go. Everyone's going to be hurting. They're up out the saddles now on BAHRAIN victorious. Zambanini, the energy going quickly. I'm going to just taper this down. Move it up to about 90 with Keplinger. And let's go early attack. Early attack with Martinez. Try and save some energy and then kick again. Lenny Martinez is in Carapaz. Carapaz is coming up on the left side. Carapaz is going to have enough energy to, I think, just take it. It's got to be Romain Gregoire in third. Oscar Onley there in 4th position. What a ride by Lenny Martinez. Let's confirm the results then for stage 4. Carapaz in first, then for EF Education. Martinez in second. Gregoire, Onley, Almeida, Rodriguez, Roglic, Bernal, Berthet, and Keplinger, who put in an awesome push there at the end, trying to assist Martinez. Zambanini as well back in 16th. Scroll all the way down. It was a tough finish for Govicar, who pushed so hard and fought so hard for the team back in 115th today. Fantastic job from him, but there's definitely going to be some splits between some big names here, I think. So let's see how that shakes up the rest of the race. But first, we'll move to the points. Carapaz 15 points then, picking up that stage win. Lenny Martinez picking up 12 in the mountains. Carapaz will pick up 10 in the stage for the win. Martinez on the earlier climbs, and as well as that finish, picking up 7. Young riders, Lenny Martinez first for the stage. And then team-wise, we were just 14 seconds collectively behind Ineos, who won the team overall on that stage. Move then to the GC. It's Almeida, 27 seconds ahead of Vashek. Wout van Aert moves back up a place into third now, 43 seconds off the pace. It's Van der Poel, Nice, Carapaz with that win. Roglic, Bernal, Berthet, and Gregoire rounding out your top 10. Lenny Martinez up 54 places to 12th position. Perhaps a chance of rounding out a GC top 10 for our Frenchman. Moving into the points, it's Tim Merlier still, of course, no change there due to the stage type and parkour in stage 4. Canter in second, Bauhaus in third. We move to the mountains though, 19 points for Lenny Martinez now, of course, there. Carapaz there with that stage win going to second position. Harper, Gautra, Vanquilin, Pernes-les-Fontaines, Sanchez and Zambanini, Baudin and Gregoire rounding out your top 10. So we still lead the mountain classification. Young rider Vashek leads the way 2 minutes over Nice, Gregoire, Martinez and Zambanini collectively for Bahrain, Van Velde, Baratti dropping 3 places for Bahrain. And team-wise, we are just 5 seconds off the pace of Little Trek after stage 4. Moving to stage 5 then with our Bahrain victorious team. Of course, Martinez in this stage race supported by Keplinger and Zambanini. And then, of course, in the sprinter section, we've got Bauhaus being supported by Govakar, Baratti and Mohoric. We go across to the magazine, and for this Punchy stage, which has a quite interesting finish at 184 kilometers, the likes of Van der Poel, Gregoire, Vanquelin and Carapaz going to be the favourites for this stage amongst others. Let's get into it and see how we do. Into stage 5 then, and we're going to go early with Martinez and Keplinger. I don't know if they're going to let us go right off the front. Seems like there's a lot of pressure. I don't know if early breakaways are quite the key here. And they have been able to form a breakaway now, but we have got some chasers. There's Gortarat, who seems to be our opposition. There's Zana, Betial, Ruish. Gortarat just really won't leave Lenny Martinez alone. He's sort of become his best friend recently, hasn't he? But yeah, we do have this breakaway form. We got Martinez, Keplinger, Velasco, Sanchez, Maintes, if I'm saying that right, apologies, and Harper. But I say we do have that sort of chase group coming of another 4 riders, and then there is the head of the peloton. So this thing could get neutralized pretty quickly at the beginning of this stage. Okay, so there is still a 3-man breakaway that we'll zoom over to now. We've got Wout Poels up there, Page, Ben O'Connor, but none of these 3 are a threat to us, I would say, currently in the King of the Mountains classification. So we're not too worried about sort of pressing them at the moment. We fly back to the head of the peloton. We've got Keplinger with Zambanini and Martinez sort of just tucked back here, working their way through just quite comfortably. And then at the front of the peloton, we've got our other guys, Govakar, Baratti, Mohoric and Phil Bauhaus, just pacing quite conservatively. As I say, I don't think those sort of 3 riders ahead really much of a threat to our ambitions in this stage. And as the riders break from the trees, the helicopter trying to get eyes on João Almeida, the Portuguese rider, the leader of the GC at the moment. He's just kind of sat alongside Lenny Martinez from Bahrain victorious in this race at the moment. At the front of the race, a 3-man breakaway, Poels, Page and O'Connor, 3 minutes and 28 out ahead of the peloton. We have just caught the front 3 at the base of the Côte d'Azur, and we are going to kick with Martinez in the hope that we can get some more KOM points. It wasn't going to be the plan, but the fact that we just caught those front 3 riders, that is exactly what we're going to do. And now we're going to just sit up with Martinez and try and bring ourselves back. Pretty hard to be moving to 2.1 kilometers to go. It is going to be Zambanini with the effort now as we move towards 1 kilometer, and we are going to kick with Lenny Martinez. Go Lenny Martinez as he tries to come out the wheel. We just got caught then. There is Oscar Onley, Keplinger. We move it back for Zambanini. Zambanini kept the effort going. Martinez couldn't get out. Zambanini, is he going to win the stage? Eduardo Zambanini ahead of Oscar Onley, Richard Carapaz, Mathieu Van der Poel in 4th, Lenny Martinez comes in at 5th. We kicked with Zambanini. The idea was to get Lenny Martinez out the wheel, but Lenny Martinez went to go and just dead dropped and just could not accelerate. Confirmation of the stage then with Zambanini, Onley, Carapaz, Van der Poel, Martinez, Quentin Venart, Gregoire Rodriguez and Vanquelin. Like I said, it wasn't the plan. Plan A was to get Lenny Martinez into the top 10 of the GC classification, but we went for stage. We, of course, did that push on the Côte d'Azur as well, securing KOM points. So I think that played into the fact that he just didn't have enough to really kick at the end there and get out of Zambanini's wheel. But we'd take the stage win, don't get me wrong. We move across to the points, and there'll be 15 points then for Zambanini with that win. In terms of mountain points, Ben O'Connor racks up 10 from the stage. Wout van Poels gets 7. There's Hugo Page. Lenny Martinez gets 5 in the stage. Zambonini gets 5 for that finish as well. And Mohoric back on 2 points. In the young riders classification, Zambonini gains time there with Martinez in 3rd. And in terms of team, we finish overall collectively 13 seconds ahead of Groupama, who are pushing late there with David Gaudu and co trying to catch us. We move into the GC. We're just on the team page there initially. 55 seconds now in the Paris-Nice race over Little Trek. But of course, we need to look at the GC. And Plan B became sort of Plan A, and Plan A became Plan B. But still, it played out in that Lenny Martinez did indeed gain seconds on some of those riders. It was Clement Bartet that we did manage to get past, and Laurent Deplut as well, dropping 5 places to 16th. So now Lenny Martinez is inside that top 10 alongside the likes of Roglic, Gregoire, Bernal, Carapaz, Nice, Van der Poel, Van Aert, Vasek, and of course the race leader, still Yao Almeida, carries yellow, 6 seconds ahead of Vasek for Little Trek in that 2nd position. Move across to the points. Tim Merlier then still on 26, ahead of Carapaz and Cantor, both on 24. Look in the mountains, and Lenny Martinez then on 24 points, ahead of Chris Harper for Team J. Alula in 2nd, Richard Carapaz in 3rd. Young rider Matthias Vasek leads 2 minutes 25 quite comfortably ahead of Thibaut Nice for Little Trek, his teammate. And then in teams, we're now 55 seconds, as mentioned, ahead of Little Trek, moving into stage 6. Stage 6 then going to be one for the sprinters from the Pernes-les-Fontaines to the Bellegarde. 173.2 kilometers going to be this one. We move across into the magazine. Of course, we've got Phil Bauhaus there as one of the favourites, but the likes of Tim Merlier leading the points classification, as well as Wout van Aert and the likes of Caden Groves and Dylan Groenewegen are going to be there, and also Matty Brennan for Team Visma Lease Bike, possibly one to look out for. We're away then in stage 6, and we're straight out of the gates, as we always like to say, with Zambonini and Martinez. A bunch of riders, though, pressing very hard. They're not going to let us get away. Of course, they understand the situation with Martinez in that top 10 of the classification. We are going to kick again though, because there's Steinhauser and Gortelat again, that Frenchman once more trying to make things happen. Jay, just over 7 kilometers to go then, trying to bring Keplinger towards the front of the peloton here as things start to ramp up, the pace increasing quite heavily, as we'll get Mohoric to take over. I think we're going to do Gels, Baratti and a Bauhaus here, trying to move up with Mohoric. It's quite a narrow road then, it's not the easiest section to try and navigate. We're going to go full melt with Mohoric here as we try to move towards the front if we can. Mohoric moving up down towards 2 kilometers, kick them with Baratti. Baratti takes over. He's going to try to lead out Bauhaus if we can. It's down to 1 kilometer to go. Kick then with Bauhaus. Bauhaus going. Bauhaus towards the line. Photo finish. Phil Bauhaus ahead of Tim Merlier. And it is another stage victory in Paris-Nice for BAHRAIN victorious, ahead of Tim Merlier. Confirmation then from stage 6, and a fantastic lead out for Bauhaus by Baratti, and Bauhaus takes the stage victory over Tim Merlier. Gaviria then Groves, Van Uden, Page, Fretin, Vasek, Groenewegen and Gerben Thiessen there for Intermarché, coming in at 10th position. Points in this stage, Merlier picks up 17 overall with the sprints. Bauhaus picks up 15. Move into the points classification for the mountains. Lenny Martinez picking up 7, Steinhauser picking up an additional 3, and still 2 points for Zambonini as well. Young rider Casper Van Uden, the best of the bunch in this stage. And overall, Intermarché was the most collectible overall team, winning ahead of Soudal Quickstep. Moving to the general classification, then it's Yao Almeida still 6 seconds ahead of Vasek, Wout van Aert in 3rd. There's Van der Poel, Nice, Carapaz, Bernal, Gregoire, Roglic, and Lenny Martinez for BAHRAIN victorious, still holding on to that top 10 position. We look at the points then. Big points picked up from Phil Bauhaus, still though 9 points off Tim Merlier. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get close enough to secure a points classification win with the 2 remaining stages. I can't remember what parcours they are, so we're going to have to take a look at those in just a minute to refresh ourselves. But Tim Merlier leading the way, but it was a absolutely fantastic stage victory for the German Bauhaus here in Paris-Nice. In the mountains, 31 points then for Lenny Martinez ahead of Harper, Carapaz, Zambanini for Bahrain, moving up into 4th, then up 1 position ahead of Gauthier, that Frenchman, our arch nemesis, it seems, of late. In the young riders, then it's still Vashek and Nice for Little Trek leading the way there, Gregoire, and then there's Martinez, Zambanini, Baratti. You can just see the youth that Bahrain have available in their squad. Martinez and Zambanini, of course, working for the mountains, and Baratti performing that fantastic lead out for Bauhaus at the end of this stage. And then in the team standings, 55 seconds to lead for Bahrain victorious ahead of Little Trek. This indeed then is stage 7 from Nice to Auron, 108 kilometers up the Auron climb. Not exactly everybody's favorite cup of tea. We do have a Cat 2 earlier on with 5 points available for us over the Aspermont. And then there is an intermediate sprint at Isala at 89.7 kilometers. Not going to be easy, especially for Bauhaus and the like coming off the back of the last stage. But hopes that we can get Martinez in a good position here to consolidate a top 10 position. We kick off the stage then, and we are not going to go into any early breaks here. Say there is that early points availability at the Côte d'Aspermont. But we're not looking at that. We have quite the lead in the KOM standings. So rather, we are going to focus on protection of Martinez in this stage. 0.7 to go on the intermediate sprint, and Bauhaus will go there to pick up points to move 6 behind Tim Merlier. There we move down to 8 kilometers. We'll put a gel on Zambanini. Might just need to take over protective duties quite soon as Kepler burns out. Yeah, we're gone. We're gone with Martinez and Zambanini. Everyone's going to take over here and push. It is Roglic up there. Roglic ahead of Onley. Onley kicks. Is he going to be able to give enough? No, Roglic kicks again, and Roglic is going to take the stage here at Paris-Nice. It's going to be Onley in second, ahead of Tige Benoot. The penultimate stage then, from Nice to Auron, and it's Primoz Roglic winning for Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe. 6-second split over Oscar Onley there for Team Pickwick Post-NL. Tige Benoot, Carapaz, Van der Poel, Palapentre, Vashek, Carlos Rodriguez for Ineos leading ahead of teammates Bernal and Arazman, rounding out a nice top 10 for Ineos. But of course they will be gutted they didn't improve and perhaps get a stage win considering the pedigree of those 3 riders. Move across to the points from the stage. Roglic will pick up 15, that's 12 for Onley, 9 for Benoot. Bauhaus picks up 3, Govicart 2, Kepler 1. In the mountains, of course, we're still pretty comfortable there, but Roglic picks up 10 points. In the young riders, Oscar Onley, the best of the rest, ahead of the same time of Palapentre and Vashek. And team-wise, we were lost 6 minutes in this stage 7. We move across then to the GC to see how that shakes things up, and it does shake things up quite a lot. It's Matthias Vashek for Little Trek moving into the race lead with 1 stage to go. 29 seconds the lead over Mathieu van der Poel. It's Wout van Aert in third. João Almeida then drops 3 places. Now a minute 24 behind. Then it's Carapaz. Roglic moves up 3 spots with that win. Now 3 minutes off the lead. Then it's Bernal, Gregoire, Thibaut, and then Lenny Martinez. We still hold on to that 10th position, but it was a tough stage. In the points, we closed it to 6 points, picking up those 3 with Bauhaus, Merlier not scoring, Carapaz moving up into second, along with Oscar Onley, both on 31 points. So it is pretty tight there in the chase moving into that final stage. Lenny Martinez, 31 points. The lead still for us in the King of the Mountains. Pretty solid lead with 1 stage to go. Ben O'Connor moves up 4 spots into second position. Vashek, as well as being the race lead, is now still comfortably ahead. 3 minutes 44 now the lead over Gregoire. And in the team standings, like I said, big loss of time for Bahrain Victorious in stage 7, dropping 6 minutes. So we're now 4 minutes behind Little Trek, who take the lead spot. It's a very big challenge then in stage 8 in Nice. We've got 3 Cat 1 climbs. We've got the Delaporte, we have the Dipele, and we have the Quatre de Chemin. Then of course there is an intermediate sprint at the Eze as well. But once we go over that final climb of the Quatre de Chemin, and then we race downhill into a finish. So a chance for Bauhaus potentially to do something and take over the points lead from Tim Merlier. Could we do it? I don't know. We'll need to see. But then of course we still need to be very wary with Lenny Martinez with these 3 Cat 1 climbs. That's potentially 30 points on offer for someone if they're able to take advantage of that. So it all comes down to this final stage. If we look in the magazine, Carapaz, Roglic, Almeida, Van Quillen, Van der Velde, the favourites for this stage, but we've got only Bernal del Toro, Diplo and Martinez. But I don't quite know. I mean, if some of the sprinters like Merlier and Bauhaus are able to get through the climbs, who knows? We could still make something happen. Stage 8 then, and this one's for all the marbles. Martinez gets out the door. Is anyone going to follow him early on? We've got Rubio, Zambonini, Van Quillen, Bardet, Michael Matthews there. We've got Leo Bessal, the young Frenchman, potentially looking to make something happen here. If we can then now sit into this group in our par efforts. The group then have been having some fun and games with Zambonini and Martinez. They did try and drop us again, but we're sitting pretty strong here in this breakaway at the moment with 2 riders. Like I said, we do have Van Quillen there, who's going to obviously be quite strong as we do make our way towards the Delaporte now, 12 kilometers out with Martinez, and we are going to kick now. Just try and get a little bit of separation there as he moves across to the left-hand side of the road. And Martinez goes. He is going to try and make it his. Maintain position, try and save some effort, Martinez. Just tally it off. If anyone comes hard, we've still got a little bit to use, but no, it is going to be enough. And fantastic work from Lenny Martinez to go over the top of the Delaporte, and he is going to sit up now and wait for Zambonini. Mohoric here as well. I think this is just going to be about sort of getting the best position possible that we can towards the end of this race. But I think we are really going to be absolutely nowhere here as we push. Govakar there is still with a kilometre to go. It's just got to be sprinting with everyone. Yeah, we are going to be absolutely nowhere at the end of this stage. It was really hard. That Cat 1 climb was so narrow. We really got pushed back, and it's Matthew Brennan for Team Visma bike who takes the win over Gregoire. Maxime Van Geurs for Red Bull Botta in 3rd position. Confirmation of your stage 8 then, it's Matthew Brennan for Team Visma bike with the win ahead of Gregoire, Van Geurs, Adria, Grobschartner, Rochard, Houle, Pacher, Van der Poel and Wout van Aert. Picking up the points then was Brennan with 15 on the stage. Lenny Martinez picking up 20 points and absolutely smashing the KOM here in Paris-Nice ahead of David Gaudu, getting 15 points on this final stage. Young rider Matthew Brennan with that stage win then ahead of Gregoire and Vashek. And then team-wise, Groupama FDJ, the best overall team on the stage. We move then to the GC, and Matthias Vashek holds on to claim the Paris-Nice title ahead of Mathieu van der Poel and Wout van Aert. Almeida then in 4th position, Carapaz, Roglic, Bernal, Romain Gregoire, Thibaut Nice, and then there we go, Lenny Martinez holding on to outsee Geoghegan to secure a top 10 finish in the GC for the young Frenchman. In the point standing then, as I say, we were just so caught out. Phil Bauhaus was nowhere on that final stage. We couldn't pick up any extra points, which was quite a shame, but a very good Paris-Nice race for Bauhaus, of course, getting that stage win earlier on, so absolutely love to see it. He will finish 2nd then. Tim Merlier does take your points classification with 43 points. In the mountains then, decimation from Martinez, and it was Zambanini, actually our teammate, moving up after that final stage into second position. So it's a 1-2 in the KOM standings, and Martinez takes home the jersey here in France on home turf. The young riders then, it's Mathieu Vachek with, of course, the GC win ahead of Romain Gregoire. And team-wise, we finished second. We couldn't really do much in that final stage after, of course, stage 7 losing so much time. We finished 4 minutes 36 off Little Trek, who claimed that first position. But yes, a very nice win for Matthias Vachek for Little Trek. Little Trek, great start to the season, continues, and they will pick up a bunch more points here from this race here in France. So after we tally up the points then following this Paris-Nice race, Little Trek then stood on top with 5,600 points. BAHRAIN Victorious moved from 4th to 2nd, and you got Team Visma moving from 6th place up into 3rd, Red Bull dropping to 4th, and Sodal to 5th. Towards the bottom end, it's dire times for Intermarché on 875, but below them even worse for Arkea B&B and Team Jayco, both on 600 points. That's going to do it for this one then, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the action. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment down below, and boys, I'll see you in the next one. Get out of here.